आपके सामने उपस्थित होकर प्रस्तुति करने के मौके के लिए बहुत आभारी हूँ मैं। As Dr. Sharad said, I'm Sadhu Thabit. I'm from Nepal, and I've been working in Washington DC. But now, a week ago, I just moved back to Nepal so that I can work close to the farms and the fields and see what's actually going on the ground. And in my excitement, I forgot to connect my PowerPoint. What I'll be talking about is agriculture's role in agriculture's role in causing climate change and how it can also contribute towards mitigating it. So when we talk about climate change, usually the energy industry comes to mind, but that's fair enough because it is the biggest contributor of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere that causes climate change. But after that, agriculture and land use change. Land use change means how one type of land has been converted to do something else. So when a forest is converted to grow soybeans, then that's land use change. Or when a deforested area has been replanted with native trees, that's also land use change. But in the world right now, deforestation is far outpacing reforestation. So land use change and agriculture are big sources of greenhouse gases. Together they contribute almost a third of annual man-made greenhouse gas emissions. Okay. So yeah, as I said, energy is still the biggest contributor to greenhouse gas emission and hence climate change. But then after that, when you combine agriculture, which is green wedge, and land use change, which includes forestry, deforestation, then you have the second biggest contributor to climate change. So the take-home message is that we cannot address climate change without addressing land use change and agriculture. And what are the main greenhouse gases of concern in agriculture? Turns out there is quite a bit overlap between the major greenhouse gases in agriculture and in general. So carbon dioxide is still the most relevant and the most contributing greenhouse gas. And in agriculture, it's produced from when you use energy for running agricultural farm equipment, for running your tractors, for running producing fertilizers and all that. So that's the energy used from agriculture. When you deforest the land, then the dead plant matter that lies on the surface, the soil that's exposed, all that carbon in the soil and the plant matter, it gets oxidized, and that's another source of carbon dioxide. And then in some crops you also use burning to harvest, like in sugarcane, you just burn the field, and that releases a lot of carbon dioxide in addition to the other gases, methane, which is the second important greenhouse gas in agriculture. And methane mostly comes from livestock, ruminant livestock like cows, buffaloes that have an extra stomach, so where the plant matter is digested, and that produces methane. And also the livestock manure also releases a lot of methane. And then the third most important gas in agriculture is nitrous oxide. And since most of us have background in biology, you know that how important nitrogen is for agriculture. But because of addition of excess nitrogen in soil, and when it gets exposed to the atmosphere, this gas, nitrous oxide, also gets emitted, which is a very serious climate benefit that it stores a lot of carbon. So we need to look into applying methods that prevent soil organic carbon loss. And one of them would be minimizing tillage, or minimizing once we plow the soil. Because when you dig up the soil, it exposes the organic matter to the atmosphere. One option But as I mentioned, like it might not be applicable everywhere because in the Western context, when you minimize tillage, herbicide is very energy intensive. So producing 1 kg of herbicide or pesticide might release up to 4 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So we need to look at like these kind of information and see if it actually meets our goals. So not tillage is one option. The other is using cover crops. So where you don't leave the field fallow, you plant things that the soil isn't exposed, it's covered by some kind of plant which is sequestering some carbon.